Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the next session of the EU 2022 Brand Conference. My name is Hugo Creer. I'm a Senior Program Manager for EU Brands, and I have been at Amazon for about 5 years from now. I'm hoping that you've had a ton of fun so far at our event. I'm hoping that you've learned a lot. I'm hoping that you've had a chance to visit our booths and potentially talk to our experts and maybe take advantage of our downloadable PDF. And I want to start this session by maybe reminding some of you how complex it was to receive your first organic sales and customer reviews on Amazon. And that is why I have the pleasure, and I'm extremely pleased to talk about one of our most critical programs for brand owners at Amazon. And that's the Amazon Vine program. So here's the agenda for today's session. We'll talk a little bit about Vine actually is, why you should use it, and its benefits. We'll look into eligibility, which happens on a seller as well as on a product level. We'll also walk you through an example of how to get started within your Seller Central account. And then lastly, importantly, of course, we'll save up some time for dedicated Q&A so that you can ask any questions you might like. So what is Amazon Vine? Amazon Vine is a program that allows you to put your products in the hands of an exclusive network of reviewers on Amazon, giving them access to test and provide feedback about your products. Now, we call these Amazon reviewers Vine Voices, and we select them based on their reviews and how insightful they were in earlier times. So basically, enrolling your product in Vine allows you to get your first review on your product detail page without having to receive your order and before an actually organic sale is placed. So as such, Vine helps you to build branded awareness. It helps you to create customer trust. And importantly, it also helps you to receive feedback from customers. And all of these eventually might help you boost your sales. So Vine doesn't require any sales, as I said. You can enroll brand new products to get reviews before the first sale. You need to have your account live. Importantly also, you don't need a large inventory commitment to get enrolled in Vine. Any quantity between 1 and 30 units for any ASIN works, which allows you to detect defects and finds out what works and what doesn't. And you can also enroll up to 5 ASINs at any time. Vine also helps you create awareness for high potential ASINs. Given that your products compete with products from other sellers for Vine Voices attention, it is important that you select products that are high potential, that are brand new, and also that don't have a high specificity or might require equipment. So secondly, as I said, we're going to talk about why you should be enrolling in. Because you probably think, well, I have a great product. I have great quality images. I might even have added some A+ content. So why would I need Vine? And the answer to that is because Vine helps you drive reviews. 90% of customers on Amazon admit that they read reviews before they buy a product. So reviews influence their purchase decision. And not only that, they even read the reviews on Amazon if they want to buy a product outside of Amazon. Which means that Vine reviews and reviews in general influence the entire purchase funnel. So Vine reviews help you raise awareness of your brand, build confidence not only on your product listing on Amazon, but also off Amazon. And hence, importantly, the reviews drive the traffic and conversion and increase your sales. And there's a second part that is important when enrolling in Vine. And that is that since Vine reviews are chosen based on how insightful earlier reviews were, and since they provide comments and reviews quickly, which on average is 17 days, you'll be able to learn rapidly what works and what doesn't work in your product. And you'll get specific feedback. Vine reviews are typically more comprehensive. Vine reviews have been judged as per other customers and compared to them, and hence enable you to surface any product issues and iterate on your product and take action early. And like I said, with little commitment in terms of units per ASIN. Now that we've understood why you should be using Vine and what it is, let's talk a little bit about who can use it and how. So there's two different types of eligibility. One is on the selling partner level, and one is in the product eligibility level. So the first one relates to the fact that you can use Vine if you have a trademark that is registered within the patent office, but also importantly, has been registered within the Amazon brand registry portal for the products that you own. And so you need to be a registered brand on Amazon to be able to take advantage of Vine. And it is available in Seller Central. Then there's a couple of product eligibility points that I want to mention. So given that Vine is meant to kick off early reviews, of course your product should have less than a certain amount of reviews already to have Vine creating value. And that amount is 30 reviews. So if your product has more than 30 reviews, you won't be able to take advantage of Vine. And the second important piece is that you need to have your products sent into one of the Amazon fulfillment centers, which basically means Vine requires a fulfillment by Amazon commitment, because we need to be able to send these products to our Vine voices and the customers, and we want to do it fast. And hence, it's important that we have them in our fulfillment center. Moreover, there's a couple of product guidelines that need to be respected, which of course relate to things that you might think are trivial, which are the product needs to have an image, the product needs to have a description, and so on. Then there's a couple of exclusions with regards to certain product categories that can't be enrolled in Vine. An example of this is digital software or adult products. And then lastly and importantly, since November 2021, we also have a fee of 170 euros per parent ASIN to be able to enroll in Vine as a program. Now, one thing that some of you might have heard this morning is that we launched a new program on Amazon called the New Seller Incentive Program. Now, if you're a seller or a company that just recently launched on Amazon in 2022, if you manage to register your brand within the 6 months of listing your first ASIN on Amazon, you can take advantage of the New Seller Incentive benefits, among which lies a benefit of up to 180 euros of Vine credits. So given that we know that the ramp up in the first time of the seller lifecycle on Amazon aren't always easy, we have added Vine as a starting bonus into the new seller incentives program. Now let's look at how you enroll a product in Vine in Seller Central. So the first step you'll need to do is you'll need to go into Vine on the advertising tab within your Seller Central account, of course. Now, secondly, given that you've already chosen to enroll in Vine, you'll probably already have an idea on which ASIN to enroll. So as a second step, you enter your ASIN, your chosen ASIN into the text box, and you click on Begin Enrollment. Once you've begun your enrollment, there's a couple of criteria that you need to select. The first one is if you have any variations, which variations to choose from. The second important one is the number of units that you want to make available, which is what we just recently talked about. And then also you need to select a starting date, whether you want to start as soon as possible or whether you want to start sometime during the future. And that's it. Once you're done, you click on enrollment and you get started with the actual Vine program. Now, we as Amazon like to think that we like to take decisions based on the data, which is also why we believe that you as a selling partner should be able to understand how your products are performing within Vine and in Seller Central. As such, you have the possibility to take advantage to track your Vine performance in a specific dashboard in Seller Central. Now, that dashboard will allow you to track the status of a certain ASIN, whether it's enrolled, if there's any action to be taken. It tells you how many units are still available and currently in inventory. It tells you how many units can be claimed and how many have already been claimed by the voices. And importantly, it also tells you how many reviews you've already received. There's a couple more details as well that you can visualize on this website, which are which size of a product you've selected, which color you've selected if there's more variations. And then lastly, you can also stop and cancel the enrollment at any time. And that was it about Vine for today, and I'm hoping that you really enjoyed learning a little bit about this amazing product. And now we'll pass into Q&A, which will give you the opportunity to ask any questions that you would like. So here's a question by Andy, who wants to know whether he can do Vine in multiple European countries at the same time. So the answer to that is yes. The same criteria apply to doing Vine in more than one country than if you only did it in one specific country, which are you can only enroll up to 5 ASINs at the same time. You can only enroll ASINs that have less than 30 reviews. You need to have at least 1 unit in an available FC, and hence there's no issue with you doing Vine in multiple countries. I just received another question from Ali, who is asking me how many reviews per ASIN we get in Vine. So the answer to that is, it depends. As you know, Vine Voices receive several requests to test and give feedback on products. And so depending on the ASIN that you enroll, you will get one or more reviews. However, it is not possible to foresee the exact number of reviews that you will get per ASIN. Ali also wants to know how you qualify for the 180 euro Vine credit as part of the new seller incentives. Now, this is simple. So if you are a company that launched on Amazon in 2022, and if you manage to register your brand within the first 6 months of listing your first product, you are eligible of the 180 euros worth of Vine credits. I saw the same question coming in from David. So the answer is, if you launched in 2022, and if you register your brand within the first 6 months of listing your first ASINs, you're eligible for up to 180 euros of Vine credits. So here's a good question by Adrian, who is asking me, so if you put your inventory into FBA, how long does it take to get your first review? Very good question, Adrian. Of course, this depends on the time of the year and on the country that you're enrolling. On average, what we've seen on our data is that it takes up to 17 days from the moment you enroll in Vine that you receive your first review. Another question coming in by Stefan, who wants to know, how do reviewers receive the product? Now, Stefan, this is the reason why I stress that you need to have products in our fulfillment centers, which presupposes an enrollment in fulfillment by Amazon. We want to ensure that we maximize the customer experience of our Vine Voices, which is why we want to make sure that we can get them the product as quickly as possible and make sure that we reduce the risk of them not receiving a defect product, which is why once the Vine Voice says, I want to test your product, we will ship the product to the customer from our fulfillment center. Here's another good question from Current Zero. Current Zero is asking, are all Vine reviewers required to leave reviews with photos, or can they decide not to leave any review at all? So we have very comprehensive review policies on Amazon, and any Vine review needs to comply with the community guidelines that we have on Amazon. And this also means that any Vine voice can decide to give both a positive and a negative review, or to give no review at all. We believe in the power of the fact that you, as a seller, with the product that you choose, will make sure that a wine reviewer gets the possibility to comment and to test and to provide you feedback in your learning cycle, which, however, is something that they should do by themselves rather than any push or any contact from Amazon or from the seller part. Here's another question from Kate. And Kate is asking, will you receive a wine review from all the voices that the product is sent to? Now, similarly to what I previously mentioned, Amazon's community guidelines regarding reviews are as such that you sending a product, or Amazon's fulfillment sending a product to a wine voice, doesn't guarantee whether there is a review or whether the review is positive or negative. Wine voices have the right to provide any kind of review that will help you as a seller to learn how you can improve your product, and you can learn that early on. Here's another good question by Christian. Christian is asking me that because they have an ascendant product that is a board game, and when they sent the product for testing in the Vine program, the Vine voice actually posted the solution as a photo. And now Christian wants to know if the seller can contact the Vine reviewer to remove the picture. The answer to that is no. You can and should not contact the Vine voice. Now, I do understand that this is a case where this can cause friction, and I would advise you, Christian, to pass by our booth and take an appointment through our experts, where there's a one-on-one possibility, and they can talk you through the detailed case and give you guidance on what to do in this case. There's another good question by Katrina, who's asking me, how many products can I register at the same time to be tested by Vine testers? How is this built to Amazon? The answer to that is you can enroll up to 5 products in Vine at any given time. And once you enroll, you will have a 90-day period that will elapse, and that will give Vine voices the possibility to post their review. Once that 90-day period is concluded, you will be charged the fee after the 90 days. I really love the questions that are coming in, by the way. Thank you very much to all of you. This is giving us a lot of great feeling as to the learnings that we can do and how we can improve education and communication about product. Keep them coming. Here's another good question by Finn. And Finn is asking me, Vine comes actually with 2 costs for the seller. one, the 170 to enroll, and two, giving away the products for free, right? The answer to that is yes. The enrollment fee of 170 is billed once you enroll the products and charged after the 90-day enrollment period. And then, of course, Vine Voices, as they are very early testers and as they have proven that they can provide insight for reviews and reviews that are more comprehensive and more detailed than the average customer on Amazon, our approach is that, and our policy is that they should not pay to test the product, which is why the answer to the second part is also yes. Katarina wants to clarify if Amazon charges per given review. Amazon charges per enrolled ASIN, and only if there is reviews after the 90-day period. Here's another question from Stephen, who's asking me, where can I see my total Vine fees? Sellers can see all their current and previous Vine enrollments in the main dashboard in Sell Essential that I showed on one of the slides. At this point, you'll need to click on each individual enrollment to check the fee, because unfortunately there's no consolidated view of the total Vine fees. Nevertheless, each enrollment will show you the fee that you've encountered. Ali has another good question, which is that he's asking how the reviews of Vine Voices are labeled. He's asking if they're labeled as Amazon reviews. The answer to that is no, they're not labeled as Amazon reviews, but they're labeled as a review from Vine Voices. I think we have time for one more last question, and I see a question coming in from Adrian again, who's asking me, so what happens if you haven't had anyone that wants to review your product? What happens to the stock? And the answer to that is, given that the stock is in the FBA fulfillment center and that Amazon has taken it in its own logistics, it can or will stay as a product that is meant to be used by fulfillment by Amazon. So given that the ASIN is live, even if no Vine voice attempts to test the product will still be available for fulfillment by Amazon, which means it will have the Prime badge, and it means it might increase the chances of having the buy box to actually be visible. And I think we are running out of time, guys. So thank you very much for all your questions I know that some of the questions that came in now very recently couldn't be answered, but I encourage you to continue asking them through conversations with our experts at our booths. We have 9 booths available throughout the event, and one of them is the Amazon Brand Owner Programs booth, which has experts that can answer any questions to find, just like I did. We also have booths related to global expansion. We have booths related to fulfillment by Amazon, which we talked about. We have booths related to advertising, where in any booth you can chat with experts, download guides, and request appointments. So I highly encourage you to visit them. I really hope you have enjoyed this session, and I really hope that you will continue to learn and enjoy the Brand Owner Conference in 2022. Now stay tuned for the next session, because it's a really interesting one. It's going to be about creating great product detail pages. It's going to teach you and make you learn about really amazing tools. And lastly, don't forget to take advantage of our Seller University channel on the event page, as well as our Getting Started booth, where we will have content available for all EU 8 countries, and where we'll provide a selection of videos from our YouTube and other channels. Once again, thank you very much. I'm hoping you enjoyed the session, and speak soon.